Ladies and gentlemen, it's lunchtime. And you know what that means? You mean on Friday at lunchtime, that means it's time for the injury report. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to a much deeper injury report than we had last week. Unfortunately, just week 2 of the NFL season, and the Buffalo Bills already seem to be getting hit pretty hard by that injury bug. We know that last week during our game. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Glad to see you in here. Guys, as you get in here, if you haven't subscribed to Believers Talk, remember, I'll be giving you live play-by-play and reaction to the game this Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Leave a comment. You know these live streams go a lot better when the live chat is going nuts. So go ahead, leave a comment. And yeah, hope you guys can join me on Sunday for this game. Hey, Brian, good to see you in here as well. But as we know, both Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmunds went out last Sunday against the Jets. With Tremaine Edmunds, it was a shoulder injury. Matt Milano obviously was a hamstring injury. Steve comes in and says, this is a disappointment to hear. I had expected Milano out and Edmunds in this Sunday. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of Bills fans expected. You know, yesterday Milano was limited in practice. Wednesday, hey Matthew, Wednesday Edmunds was limited in practice. So you thought, hey, these are good signs, right? That at least Edmunds is going to play and that the linebacker depth won't be taking a huge hit. But here we are on Friday, and we just found out by Coach McDermott a few hours ago that both of them will be out for their game against the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say those aren't devastating losses. They are, and when you think about the linebacker depth, it really takes a hit here. We're really going to have to be calling on some reserves in order to fill the roster and be able to hopefully rotate some men at that linebacker position. But there are options here, right? There are plenty of options that Coach McDermott and Leslie Frazier have. First of all, let me tell you something. I don't put anything past Coach McDermott and Leslie Frazier. I think that they prepared for this during the offseason at least a little bit. They considered the idea of losing both these two guys and what it would mean for this defense. Now, that being said, every time Matt Milano's been out in his first 2 seasons with the Buffalo Bills, every time he's been out, it seems like the run defense gets a little worse, right? So that's something they have paid attention to, especially with this Miami Dolphins offense that does have some good running backs behind Ryan Fitzpatrick, and maybe an offense that's going to run the ball a little bit more now that we know that Ryan Fitzpatrick can't throw the ball and threw 3 interceptions against the New England Patriots. So that's definitely a concern for the Buffalo Bills. So you have to be able to rely on your front line, your defensive tackles, your defensive ends. And that's something that the Buffalo Bills did really well last week, and I hope to see that continue, is that rotation of the defensive line. I mean, Coach McDermott and Leslie Frazier both trying to make sure that these guys stay fresh. But yeah, the linebacker position is going to be an issue. Obviously, Terrell Dotson was a full participant in practice, so that's a good sign, right? At least Dotson's going to be available, and Dotson played okay when in relief duty last week, so I look forward to seeing that. So I guess we stack the box and dare Fitzpatrick to throw. That's what I would do, honestly, at this point. I would definitely dare Fitzpatrick to throw the ball. I mean, you look at Trey White, he can cover anyone one-on-one. You think about our safeties over top, they'll be a good job. Now, there is some talks, I know Hashtag Sports tweeted out about this as well, that Poyer might be in the box a little bit more as well. Maybe play some more of that big nickel package as well. So maybe some 2 linebacker sets and you just have Klein and Dotson in there. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, like I said, I think that Coach McDermott, I think defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier have both planned for this, right? Especially after Sunday. They both made a game plan for how they're going to respond if both these guys are out come Sunday. Now, the scary part is when asked if either of these guys will be on on IR, not on ER. They won't be on a television show anytime soon. If any of these guys would be on IR, he said it's too early to tell. And that's a scary thing. Now, the good thing about IR is that only lasts 3 weeks now, right? Instead of 6, I believe it was previously, with everything going on with the pandemic. At least now, if they go on IR, they're only going to miss 3 weeks, but they're not on IR yet. So if they go on IR after this week, that means they're missing 3 more games after this one. And you think about the games we have coming up. We have a game against the Rams coming up. If you watch that Rams-Dallas game, the Rams have a pretty good offense. At least it looked that way in week 1. You know, we have the Vegas Raiders coming up, and they could put some points on the board, as we saw against Carolina Panthers. So some pretty good offense. Oh, yeah, and then there's the Chiefs week 6. Let's not forget about them. They're not that far down the line. They have a pretty decent offense as well. But, yeah, so there's some pretty high-power offense is coming up. If our offense replicates last week's performance, I think we can get this division win through a shootout style game. I mean, in order to be a shootout style, you have to rely on the Miami Dolphins to score a lot of points, and I just don't don't see that happening. You know, I think the most that the Dolphins can score in this game is 20 points, maybe. Watch out for Jacob. Yeah, absolutely. Jacobs will be a huge factor in that game. Hey, Ray Dizzy, good to see you in here. Just thought to see more reaction. Hughes, Murphy, and Addison all have played. I heard that on Twitter as well. And listen, although that is true, they've played the linebacker position at the 3-4 position, at the 3-4 defense. There's a little bit of a difference between a linebacker on a 4-3 defense and a linebacker on a 3-4 defense. You're asking a linebacker on a 4-3 defense to possibly go out and cover a little bit more. So there is a little bit of a difference there. Jerry Hughes and Trent Murphy have not played the linebacker position for quite some time. I think that Coach McDermott and Leslie Frazier would rather that not happen. Mario Addison's an interesting one to me. I think Mario Addison, you can put maybe back that linebacker, maybe alternate a little bit if needed. But I think the only way you see that happen is if there is an injury to either Dotson or Klein on Sunday, which we really hope does not happen at this point because our linebacking group is fleeting quickly and we just can't afford to have any more linebacker injuries. So we'll see what happens. Again, maybe expect to see Poyer in the box a little bit more. As far as the rest of the injury report, everyone else is fine. Jake Fromm was limited in practice. However, that's because of the fact that he's going to stay on the practice squad. He will not be on the active roster come Sunday. Some of the other guys that were on the injury list, McKenzie, he'll be all right. He'll be ready to go. John Brown made a surprise appearance on the injury report this week. He looks like he'll be good to go. Looked like he had some sort of foot or toe injury that people were worried about for a little bit, but he was at practice today, so I'm not too concerned about John Brown being ready to go on Sunday. But yeah, the biggest injuries obviously are the two linebackers. So we might need to pick up. I saw Lacey's name thrown out there as far as a linebacker possibly ready to play. Obviously, I don't want that. I don't want to bring in a new guy that hasn't had a minute with our system to come in on Friday for a game on Sunday. I just don't see that being a contributing factor to the Buffalo Bills at this point. Now, if they are significant injuries, I could expect to see the Bills sign some players. I did see on Twitter, Clay Matthews, still available, right? Reggie Ragland, ex-Buffalo Bill, still available. There are some decent linebackers still available as free agents if these two guys do have to go on IR. If that is a possibility, I'm not sure yet. Obviously, Coach McDermott did not rule that out, which is always scary. But that's something that the Bills will have to consider down the line. But right now, we're thinking about Sunday, and for Sunday, Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmunds, both out. So we have to see Terrell Dotson step up. We have to see more of AJ Klein. If you were part of the collab yesterday that we did with #Sports, we talked about this issue. And, if you haven't watched it, go back to the video last night. Go over to #Sports channel, and we talked about this. I think the criticism of our linebacker depth is overblown. I don't know of any other team that has depth beyond their starters. Well, you need depth, but yeah, to have great depth at many positions is hard to do. I think there is a depth issue now. The problem with having a depth issue is not the talent of the player, is just having players available, right? Players available at that position. Listen, right now, I would love to have Clay Matthews on this team to not have to worry about anything. Not saying I want to sign him today and think that he'll make a contribution on Sunday, but I would love to have him on the team last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. We would have had time to learn the system. Not sure both are asked to drop back into coverage regularly, referring to Hughes and Murphy. They're not. And so that's why I'm not sure if you'll see them at the linebacker role all too often, even if someone goes out. The interesting one there would be Mario Addison. But that's it, guys. I just want to keep you up to date on the injury report. Again, we do give you an injury report every Friday afternoon, normally around lunchtime. Go live, give you an injury report for the game coming up this Sunday. Obviously, Milano, Edmunds out. John Brown looks like he'll be good to go. And that's pretty much it, guys. Dotson's healthy. So we'll hope that the linebacker core can hold up for one more week, and hopefully Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmunds can get healthy before next week for that game against the Rams. Again, going to be a key matchup going up against the NFC West. Thank you, Steve, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Join me Sunday for live play-by-play reaction to the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.